Does it come down to Clemson, Florida State, and is that the end of the season in the Atlantic? It certainly looks like that.
Yeah, the Atlantic Division's Clemson and Florida State show. I thought before the season that somebody would cost somebody the division. I still think that's the case. I don't think Florida State is as good as their record would indicate, or the fact that they haven't lost a regular season game in about 3 years. I just don't think they're that good. I think it's a case where the rest of the ACC is playing that poor. It's Clemson's show to lose. It's their division, and then after that, you got 5 teams that it's who wants it least. It's going to be Bull-Mageddon come down the end of this with a whole bunch of sub 500 teams and 500 teams. How they figure out who goes where for the bowl berths is really going to be interesting, because these teams, most of them still have to play each other. And I have a feeling it's going to be like cannibalism all over the place with teams beating other teams. And somebody's still going to cost someone a bowl berth. The question is where and with who.
So, Dan, most of the teams are 3 games into this. Any surprises for you? We're halfway through the season, not quite halfway through the conference season. Anything stand out to you that you didn't expect?
Louisville being 1-2 is pretty shocker for me. I really thought Louisville was going to be a lot better than they are. When you go back over their record, the fact that they're 2-4, bowl eligibility might be a problem for them when you look down the rest of their season, because they conceivably could lose 3 games. They're playing a Boston College team that has a very, very good defense, even though it got lit up a little bit by Clemson. That's still Clemson, and the defense is still number 1 in the nation. You got Syracuse, you've got Virginia on there. Somebody's going to lay an egg. You got Pittsburgh. Louisville could lay a couple of them, and I'd have thought they would finish 3rd in the division, challenge Clemson or Florida State. That's not what happened. Instead, it's a runaway. Louisville could still finish 3rd in the division, but I don't think there's anybody that's looking at them and thinking that they're a major player, which I really thought with that defense they were going to be just a solid program this year, and there isn't one. I mean, everyone in that division is trying to lose as many games as possible, I feel like.
Do you think Clemson, Florida State's a coin flip, and you're going to have to wait until practically kickoff to pull the trigger on a pick, or do you think one of these 2 teams is decidedly better than the other?
I think Clemson's running away with it, and I think Clemson is going to beat Florida State. It's at home. It's sandwiched right at the right time. Clemson gets Miami this weekend. Next weekend they go up to NC State. It's a little bit of an easier schedule for them. It lends nicely for them to build up to that Florida State game, and then they get a couple of easier games before they have to play South Carolina. So I think Clemson could run the table very easily. They are outstanding, and I think they're going to beat Florida State. I think they're going to go to the ACC championship game. I don't know that they can beat Pittsburgh or Duke or whoever winds up coming out of the Coastal, but I think going into that ACC championship game, they're going to easily win the Atlantic Division and maybe get a little bit of a challenge from FSU, but Clemson is by far the best team coming out of that division this year.
I'm still trying to process that statement, Dan. You don't know if Clemson can beat whoever comes out of the Coastal.
Yeah, that welcome to the ACC football.
Okay.
That's just what I can toss it up to. They could run the table, wind up in the playoff, or they're not losing a game in the Atlantic Division or losing a game on their regular season schedule. But I wouldn't put it past them to go to I hope Dabo doesn't watch this. They're going to pull a Clemson somewhere along the line. You just hope it doesn't kill their season.